This is the communications path diagram for the system. So we're going to start out with the main controller, ESP32S3. It serves the web pages, it has a setup page, it has a config page, all different ports. Okay, it'll individually control up to 8 lights, and it also has switch control for the turnouts, and it's done by 2 relays per switch, normally open, closed to go a direction. They're treated as a pair, so you can to pick the inner track or the outer track. It has infrared sensors, which it has infrared sensors for detecting train passage, and in the setup page can pick a sound file to play on a train passage. It outputs DCC commands. Everything, all the algorithms are inside the main DCC controller, and an H-bridge and 28 volts peak-to-peak output. We have an auxiliary controller, and it does what I call the industrial lights and also the street lights. So it'll control the servo, which is not implemented yet, not physically installed. It listens. It has a web page in, so you can see what it's doing. You can set it up. You can configure it. We have a handheld unit over here. It supports its own battery and battery charger. It has a view in to see what it's doing, a setup and a config. It outputs to the Pi up here to play sound files. It sends the UDP speed commands down to the main controller. It has command functions to direction, lights, switch control, turnouts. The main controller broadcasts on UDP 25 elements of data, and anybody that wants to listen to it, can pick it up, and that's picked up by the display controller. The Pi controller is pretty much running Python for handling speed change inputs and to play sound files. There's a button box coming into the Pi controller, and he does quadrature, rotary for the speed, and then he also does an emergency stop button. That's pretty much it for this side. We're going to take a ride on the train now. This may get a little bit shaky, but it gives this handheld screenshot. And so what you see there on the immediate right is a sensor for the train passing by. So let's start the train moving. There's the sensor kicked in. Some people. And then there's another sensor, a little white box there. As we go through the tunnel. And we can go faster. And now we got some cows coming up here on the right. And another sensor, so we should play a moo sound. And that's our loop. Here we see the Raspberry Pi 4 with a 5-inch touchscreen display showing the web page being served by the main controller. Okay, we have the current engine speed, which 1 in DCC land is stop. We have a direction, we're moving forward. We have the lights off in the engine. We have engine 3. Okay, we can control the speed with this slider here. We can control up to 10 engines, engine plus, engine minus. We have an emergency stop button. We can control the inner track or the outer track to fire the servos. The siding's not implemented yet. We can control the train direction. We can control the lights in the engine. We can control 8 individual lights in the houses. We can control what I call the industrial lights. We can control the street lights. We can enable or disable the sensors. We can turn all the lights on. We can turn all the lights off. And we can play a sound file. And here's some examples. So we'll start moving. Let's see, here you can hear the relays fire if I pick the track. Okay, and then we get feedback from the lights. Okay, we can turn them all off. We can turn the industrial lights on. We can turn the industrial lights off. We can enable or disable the sensors. We can pick a sound file. There's X number of canned sound files here, and we can, let's see, play that. Okay, and then over here we have the handheld controller. Okay, this gives you pretty much, can do everything it can. It's all wireless. We got to wake it up first. Okay, and so we see the engine address. We can see the current speed. We can see the lights in the engine. We can see the direction of the train. We can see the track selection. We can see the status of the lights. If I go back over to here and turn all the lights on. Okay, and now turn the industrial lights, or the street lights on, the industrial lights on, and we can turn them all off, and then turn the industrial lights off, lights off. We can force sound files. Okay, you can pick the direction. Lights off, I'm sorry, the lights for the engine, off, on, direction, fires, and then we can pick also the forward and reverse. Okay, we can control the speed. You can hear the train starting to move. As it goes by the sensors, you'll hear them fire. This is as from the train ride that we did before. Okay, we've got a button box over here that we can control the train speed. We just stopped at the cows. Okay, and now we can watch the engine. See, he's over there at the cows. We can move forward using the button box. And there you can see the camera that we took a train ride with, ESP-EYE. Okay, everything you see here is 3D printed. Everything except the people and the one tree that's currently mounted. Okay, we're going to go past another sensor over there. We're going to play another sound. Okay. And now let me turn off some of the lights. Let me come back over to here. And let me turn off the lights so we can get the full effect of the video. Ooh. Let's see, if we start turning some of the lights, let's turn all the lights on to start with. And now we can see the town lit up. Okay, turn the industrial lights off. Turn the street lights off. We can turn the houses off one by one. Oop, there we go. Now we can turn them all off again. We can disable the cow sensor, which is over here. Remember, it's been firing when we go past. I'll turn them all off. But that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. This is an under the covers view. So here we have the main controller, ESP-32 S3 based, controlling the lights, the relays. You can see the two relays there. You can see the DCC out, which is the red wires here, and we've got a whole bunch of lights, and the lights wires go all over the place. And then here's the industrial and street light controller, ESP S2 Mini, and it's, you know, got the servo control on there, and the it controls 13 lights, 7 street lights, 6 industrial lights, and that's pretty much it under the covers. Just a quick view of some of the 3D printed components. We got the house lights over here, the industrial lights here, we've got the sensors for the train detector here, we've got the handheld controller case, we've got wire hangers, we've got the street lamps, we've got the mount for the train cam, we've got the servo, and then we've got the light and servo controller. That's it.